Good morning, Year 1, and welcome to today's science lesson. Now, to get your science brain warmed up, can you pause the video and tell your hand, what does the word property mean? Let's have a look together. A property is a feature of a material. Did you get that one right? Well done. Now, in our letter from Pirate Pete yesterday, he told us to investigate a material that he could use to make a porthole with, which is like a window from a pirate ship. We learnt these words. One of the words was opaque. Now, scientists, can you tell me, what does the word opaque mean? Pause the video and say out loud, what does the word opaque mean? Let's look together. So opaque means that you cannot see through it. In my experiment yesterday, I discovered that wood was opaque. I couldn't see through it. Can you remember what the word transparent means? Pause the video here, scientists, to say out loud what does the word mean before pressing play, and we'll go through it together. Well done, scientists. So transparent means that you can clearly see through it. When I was doing my experiment yesterday, I found that the glass was transparent. Yesterday, you explored different materials to find out which would be opaque and which were transparent. To answer Pirate Pete's question, which would be the best to build a porthole. So what I'd like you to do now is pause the video and can you say out loud, what do you think? Which material should Pirate Pete use to build his porthole? Now, Pirate Pete has got some ideas of his own, so let's see what he's thinking. Now, can Pirate Pete use wood to build his porthole? What do you think? Can you tell me, is wood opaque or transparent? You're right, wood is opaque, so I don't think wood would be a very good material to build a porthole with. Let's look at his next idea. Now could Pirate Pete use glass to build his porthole? What do you think? I think he could, because I know that glass is transparent, which means you can see through it. If he was building a porthole, you definitely want to be able to see through it, so perhaps glass would be a good material to use. What about paper? Is paper an opaque material or a transparent material? What do you think? In my experiment, I found out that paper was opaque, which means you can't see through it. So I'm not sure that paper would be a very good material to build a porthole from. Today we're going to be writing back to Pirate Pete to tell him which material he should use to make his porthole and which material he shouldn't use. I wonder if you could use these talk frames here. I've started my letter, Dear Pirate Pete. The first talk frame says, you should use to make your porthole because it is. Could you pause the video and use the talk frame to tell Pirate Pete which material he should use? Which would be a good porthole material? Super Topaz Power. My idea was, Dear Pirate Pete, you should use glass to make your porthole because it is transparent. I've used the word transparent because I'm writing like a scientist, so I need to use the scientific words. Can you use your Topaz Power to tell Pirate Pete which material he should not use? Use the talk frame, do not use because it is, to tell him what he shouldn't do. Well done. I said, do not use cardboard because it is opaque. In your learning pack, you have got a learning objective that looks like this. It's probably a half page, so you might need to cut it out. What I'd like you to do is stick it at the top of a new page in your lined writing book. Underneath your learning objective, you're going to write your letter back to Pirate Pete using the talk frames we've just practiced. Now let's have a closer look at this learning objective and see which words are on there that we could use to help us. On your learning objective, you have got the words use, should, and because. There are also some material words to help you. Metal, plastic, glass, wood, paper, fabric. I've also written Pirate Pete and our scientific vocabulary, opaque and transparent. Those words are a bit tricky to spell, so it's okay to copy them from the word bank. When you're writing, make sure you're using every time I write to check it. So we should see capital letters at the start of your sentences and for the proper nouns, finger spaces in between your words, full stops at the end of your sentences. We should see you using your phonics to spell words you're not sure of, your neatest handwriting, and using your grit power to not give up. Pirate Pete, when he looks through your writing, will also be looking for those things. So now it's your turn. Use the talk frames you can see here to write your letter back to Pirate Pete. Make sure you use the words opaque and transparent in your writing to write like a scientist. I can't wait to see what you've written. Bye!